Answer is no. No, it doesn't end the Me Too movement. No, it doesn't end believing women. No, it doesn't end any of it, and I'm hoping not, because a lot of people are comparing this to Amber Heard, and this is Amber Heard 2.0, and I really, really, really hope that Blake is not jumping on these accusations in order to get support from the Me Too movement, because that would be... I cannot stress this enough. If you are a person, woman, or man being harassed, report it. Report it, report it, report it. Because sadly, if the behavior continues and you've reported it and it hasn't changed, you need proof that you reported it. You need those receipts. Everything coming out right now is really, everything has been taken out of context. There is no context within either claim. And there's no real proof that's been given. Yeah, Blake claimed some stuff, and then Justin's team came and, tried to counter all of those points, but really at the end of the day, we haven't got a lot of proof or evidence yet on either side. People are just kind of questioning things, as they should be. And I think a lot of people are taking out of context SH and putting it with grape, SA, and even like human trafficking, because I've had a lot of people in my comments compare Justin Baldoni with Harvey Weinstein and even with P. Diddy. They're not the same. They're not the same. I've had people comment that Baldoni should be in jail with Diddy. They're not the same. A lot of things in the claim, from what I read about what happened on set, I think is really going to be easy to prove, because if you've ever been on set, anyone can say you are never alone on set. You are never alone, unless you get a trailer like Miss Lively had, but even then there's probably security around her trailer. There's the production assistants waiting to call her back to set or off set or timer. There's assistants, her managers. You are never alone on set unless you go as an artist to really seclude yourself, to emotionally prep or get ready. It is very, very rare that you are ever alone. Also, personally for me, it actually breaks my heart that I'm even questioning Blake, because as someone who just filed an harassment claim and a toxic work environment for not being protected, I'm just waiting to get kind of the proof. No offense, because it is your burden to prove, and you have to prove all of the times that you not complained, but filed a complaint, reported it, and that changed behavior wasn't done, and it was your complaints were ignored and the behavior continued. I do have two theories on what I think may have happened here. One, I think that Blake probably manipulated her friendship and her openness and her conversations that she had with Justin previously in production meetings and maybe as friends and co-producers. And now they were probably having an open, shared communication, and that was fine when she was getting her way. And then when they started pushing back and creating boundaries with her, she's manipulated those conversations and taken them out of context. It is possible. And I also do think that maybe she wasn't ready to dive into a set and a script and a story that had such physical intimacy and emotional scenes. I think it will be easy to prove on either side when it comes to the SH allegations. So they will have crew there, they'll have a camera op there, they'll have sound people there, and also there will be footage. So if some of these things happen during takes, which she says they did, they'll have those takes. They'll have the footage. They'll have that to show on either side. So that can go for or against either. A lot of people who don't work on sets, or who are not artists, or who do not work on really intense emotional sets and stories, are saying that Justin improvising or adding things or rewriting scenes and that Blake didn't approve of is never allowed. She's not the writer or the creator. He was the producer and director, and there is a writing team. So they are allowed to rewrite, and they are allowed to add things in or remove things as they see fit. And yeah. And apparently in the book, there are way more intimate scenes than were ever in the script or in the movie. And maybe if she'd read that, she'd known what she was working with. Also saying that scenes lingered or were done too many times when it came to kissing and or he improvised. There's one claim where they were dancing and it was MOS, so not recording sound, and he smelled her neck and said, "That smells nice." And she said that's, she was uncomfortable with that. That could have just been to get a reaction from her while on set. You do improv things, and a lot of times the director will tell the other actor in the scene to give something, and that actor doesn't know what's coming because they want a different emotion from them. So there is room for improv, and even Nicole Kidman recently said the importance of being open to improv to bring more to life, and you do have to have room to be open to what's coming for you, and it's really a dance of energy. Acting is reacting, and a lot of times directors will really hold takes even after they're supposed to call cut, or will keep the cameras rolling after cut if the actors are really dialed in and dropped in, because when you get to editing and when you get to post, you don't know how long you want that shot to take. And sometimes you get into editing and you're like, damn, I wish I would have held on that because it would have been perfect to cut to here. And when it comes to shooting takes of kissing too many times, you don't know if that take was out of focus. You don't know if they got the shot they wanted. You don't know if the boom was in frame. Like, that's really not the actor's job. The actor's job is to show up and do it and do the scene over and over and over and over and over again until they get the take. And you never do the same take twice. A lot of times, directors will direct actors to give them more, give them less, dial it back, be more intense, because when they get into editing, they want options. You really only lock in the take after you shoot the master, and then you just have to match the actions and stuff. But directors oftentimes will ask for more intensity, less intensity, and you'll do the scene a bunch of different ways to get it so that when you get into editing in itself makes the movie, because you can really change the entire movie in post-production through editing. You can tell a whole different story than what you filmed depending on what the actors are giving you. But at the end of the day, all of this noise surrounding this movie, which is a movie I actually really like. Did I think Blake was great? I think she uses a lot of breath and says yeah and baby a lot, and like she responds with yeah a lot. I thought that was kind of weird, but for the movie and the message of the movie, all of this noise is actually just taking away from the message that Justin time and time and time again with his own people were like, just focus on the message of the movie. Give her whatever she wants. Let's just get through this. Let's just keep refocusing on the message. And the message is breaking generational trauma of DV and having the strength to stop it. As new tea comes out, I'm gonna share it because I've been invested in this since August of last year. And it went away, but now it's back. And I had opinions back in August and about how she took over the set. Immediately I knew something was off in the water. Something wasn't right, you know?